It's a party. No, it's a trap. So we have this friend who popped out a kid last year. She has turned into one of the most entitled parents I've ever had to deal with. Prime example is the baby's upcoming first birthday. In the guise of a birthday party, entitled mom has invited all of us to come over Saturday morning to clear out her crazy-ass, overgrown yard, plant a garden, and build and paint giant flower boxes. For the baby. No? What the hell is that? For the baby? The baby doesn't know the yard is crazy, and she doesn't care. It's one thing to ask a few people to help you out with something. It's a whole other thing to basically trap people into doing it and using the baby's birthday as a way to get people to come. She's been like this from the moment the kid popped out. She expects all of us to be around and be at her beck and call to help whenever she needs it. We all didn't have this baby. She wanted this. She got pregnant on purpose. Time to grow up and be self-sufficient. It's interesting how this one worked. It was like automatic entitled parent. Entitled parent. That's how it happened. The baby was born an entitled parent. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the situation, but I know it might have caused her to become dependent on other people. However, there was a statement saying that she had the baby on purpose. I'm not exactly sure how the statement rolls because it sounds like he said she had the baby on purpose so everyone could wait on her hand and foot, which I don't think that's the situation, but she definitely has some using issues. And if you feel used by anyone, whether it's not your pregnant friend or some other people, they're probably not good for you. They're definitely not good for you in the long run. They don't help. And what's worse is they just use you when they need you. I had a friend that only came over to play video games, and as soon as I put the video game away and say, hey, let's do something else, he'd just walk out of the house. So I stopped hanging out with him. This is the same concept. If she only wants you to come over to do busy work, don't come. Don't. Eventually, she'll figure out that what she's doing is wrong, and if not, she definitely needs more growing and needs to realize outside of the child she's raising, she also got to raise herself, too. Entitled grandmother won't stay in her lane. I've lurked on this sub many times, but I've never encountered an EP before yesterday at my local YMCA. Not the most extreme, but still ridiculous. So as background, I am a former competitive swimmer and currently a competitive swim coach. I usually go to my local Y 3 to 4 times a week to stay relatively fit. The pool is typically split into 2 sections down the middle. One section has lap swimming lanes, 3 of them, while the other section is open for kids to swim and for old people to jazzercise. I showed up and it wasn't too busy, just an elderly woman swimming laps, a couple of men floating in the open section, and women watching EGM. What I assume were her 3 grandkids playing and jumping back and forth between the remaining open lanes. This is the resulting confrontation EGM had at the Y. Excuse me, can you please have your kids stay in one lane or use the open section so...
No! We were here first and you can't tell us what to do!
But there's a section for...
Didn't you hear me the first time? Leave us alone or I'll have you kicked out!
At this point, the aquatics director comes out of his office.
What's the problem here?
This man is harassing us and won't leave us alone!
I'm just trying to swim, holding back laughter at this point because I can't believe how quickly she escalated this.
EGM, I've told you already that your kids are only allowed in these lanes if they are getting lessons or there are no lap swimmers available.
But we were here first!
I'm sorry, but it's pool policy.
But we don't want to move. See, you're ruining their day at the pool.
If they want to continue swimming, they need to stay in their designated area.
At this point, I thought it was over. I had a lane to swim in, and I started my workout. About 10 minutes into my swim, a little kid jumps on top of me. Sure enough, it's one of the EKs. EGM waited for the AD to go back into his office and then started throwing all of her kids' toys in my lane. What the hell, lady?
I told you we were here first. AD can't tell me what to do.
What is wrong with you? There's so much space everywhere else in the pool.
Well, we want this spot here.
And now the youngest of the 3 EK starts crying, drawing out AD again.
EGM, I told you to stay in your area.
I don't care. We're not leaving.
Well, I'm gonna have to kick you out.
And then the real explosion started.
What? How dare you do this to us? My son is a lawyer and I'm going to have him all over you in no time.
I work at the YMCA. Be sure to waste your time going after all of my money.
EGM screams incoherently for about 5 minutes and then packs up her grandkids and storms out. I finished my workout and tried to process how the hell this even happened.
An entitled grandmother. Now that's a new one for me. I found this one interesting because I know exactly how big those pools are at the Y, and they're pretty decent size. I had gone to the Y at one point in time out here when I was younger, and the pool is pretty big. I mean, and it's not unreasonable to ask you to stay in your lane. It really isn't, especially seeing as if it's like during the day or a downtime, especially when the older people are there or the kids are there, it's usually pretty empty. So if you can't stay in your lane, I mean, like, obviously, get out of the pool. I mean, you don't belong there. And the fact that she went to go threaten to sue the practically the volunteer that worked there is awesome. And I like the response. Because I have so much money. Please sue me. Please. You'll be getting all of the tuna sandwiches that I make from now on. Titled grandmothers.
Yay!
You morons are trying to poison my baby! So this happened a few months ago. I work in a small takeaway pizza shop, and it all takes place on a Friday night at our busiest time. My coworker, who was fairly new to the job, was taking orders while I was sorting pizzas and everything else. And as it got busier, there were quite a few customers waiting in the shop. Everything was running smoothly until one particular customer with her child, like 3 years old, and her husband came to pick up their order 5 minutes early. As there was a longer wait than usual, my coworker and I expected to receive a few complaints about the orders taking too long. So we weren't too concerned at first. The cast. Me. Coworker CW. K, your classic Karen. PH, poor embarrassed husband. M is manager. Kay comes up to the counter and talks to me after waiting about 3 minutes.
Where's our order?
What was the name? Sorry?
It's Karen.
Oh, of course. It should only be 2 more minutes.
Fine.
I don't think much of the conversation and just went back to doing my job. When about a minute later, Karen gets up again and begins to berate CW while he is on a call for an order.
Excuse me, but I was told online that my order would take 15 to 20 minutes. Clearly, you were wrong and you need to do your job better.
CW puts the phone down for a second.
I'm very sorry, I'm currently taking a call, but I'll be happy to help you in a minute.
What is with this place? You guys seriously take forever.
Keep in mind her order was only placed 13 minutes ago. I didn't hear the rest of the conversation, but from what I was told afterwards, CW apologized, and that was the end of it. At this point, I could see Kay's order, and so I quickly got it ready to call her up to collect it. Most of the time, people trust that we have the order correct, but every now and then people want to check, which I am always happy to help out with.
My baby's cheese pizza has green stuff on it. Why?
That's just oregano that we add on top of our margarita pizzas.
I ordered cheese pizza, not this green mess. My daughter can't eat anything green. You're trying to poison her.
Me trying to stay calm. I'm terribly sorry about that, but this is how our cheese pizzas normally come. I am more than happy to request that your order be remade if that makes you happy.
No, that will take another hour.
Casey, CW passing another customer their order.
Give me that order as compensation.
We can't do that, Karen. They have already paid for it, and it's not your order.
Well, we deserve it more because we've been waiting half an hour.
It was 7 minutes.
And my daughter's very hungry.
I'm sorry, but you can either take the order we have made already, or we can make another.
Wow, how rude. Why didn't you just make my baby's pizza correctly in the first place?
Look, I didn't take your order. CW did, and he is new. But I'm happy to check your online order docket to check.
Yes, do that. You'll see he's wrong and that he should be fired.
At this point, M takes notice of what's happening and stands out of sight in case he is needed. I go to check the order, and sure enough, there was a margarita pizza with no comments requesting the oregano to be taken off. I go to show the docket to Kay, but she rips it out of my hand and shoves it in CW's face.
See, you moron? You'll be fired for this.
CW gets angry now.
No, it's not my fault. You never specified anything on your order.
Well, you should have known!
M finally stepping in.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
No! I want compensation or I will call the police on you all for trying to poison my baby!
At this point, PH comes up to his wife, looking very embarrassed. Honey, we should just leave now.
No, I refuse!
After about a minute of this, she finally gives up, takes her pizzas, and goes out of the door. As she leaves, she yells back at M.
You just lost a valued customer!
She then proceeds to throw all 3 pizzas they ordered and paid for onto the ground and stormed off. Once she was gone, several customers who had witnessed her whole tirade came to reassure me and CW that we were doing perfectly fine and shouldn't worry about people like her. M was also not at all upset about losing a—
Ooh, this one touched home because it's about a pizza place.
I work at a pizza place.
And I have dealt with people just like this. I did mention a little while ago, a guy said that we tried to poison his daughter by putting onions on his food when he had never ordered from our place in the past. So the fact that she says that they're poisoning her daughter, which, by the way, might I point out, oregano is a base ingredient in sauce. All right? That's what baffles me more. You had a pizza before that wasn't a Tostino's pizza, was it? It has oregano. They all have oregano. That's the base ingredients to pizza sauce. One of them is oregano. Salt, pepper, garlic salt, all that fun stuff goes into the sauce. I can't believe she's never seen in her lifetime of being alive and spouting out a spawn that she's never seen the oregano in the sauce of her pizza. Unless you're going for that Chef Boyardee bullshit, I mean, there should be no reason you wouldn't expect oregano in your sauce. Woo! Seriously, lady. Get a hobby. Some people need the hands sometimes. Let's just put it that way. But no, he handled it as professionally as he could. I do like that manager stepped in and told her to leave because she was being obnoxious. And I have no idea what her point was to throw the food on the ground. It was just a waste of money. After that, we had individuals do that to our establishment once when they came in and found out that it costs extra for a topping. Even though it's on the menu, on the wall, on the handheld menu, on the sign behind us, on the sign on the counter. If you go online, it's there. If you go on to any other site, it's there. If you go on to a third-party site, it's there. But hey, we never took any time to go out of our way to tell you that there was extra cost to toppings. Whatever! Despite all that said and done, these people just are enough that you want to throttle them half the time. So those are the stories for today. Not sure which one's my favorite. I'm probably going to go with the last one because it touches home a lot. I feel like that one I have a strong connection with. So I'm going to go with that one. I think that one's my favorite this time. I want to know what your personal opinion on any of these are. Please tell me in the comment section below. I always look forward to talking with you guys because I do respond to most of you. If you're new here, don't forget that subscribe button and ring that bell icon to become a part of the notification squad. Whatever you want to call yourselves. But I would like to see you guys here more often because I like seeing you. I really do. I like seeing that you're enjoying the commentary that I'm laying on these Reddit readings, and I like that you are enjoying these Reddit readings, period. So I thank you guys very much for watching, and I thank you very much for following along. You guys have been great and fantastic, and as usual, as always, my friends, stay frosty and keep moving forward.